There's an old saying that claims there are two kinds of motorcyclists: those who have crashed and those who will. And if you find yourself in the former of those two groups, you might find that your mirrors can be the first things to go. Now today, I'll be working with this Genuine Buddy 150 that had a recent crash and could use a new set of mirrors. Now most motorcycles and scooters have mirrors that attach in a similar manner, so even if you're not working with a Genuine Buddy, this video still should be able to help you out. Now let's take a minute to talk about the tools that you're going to need for this job. You really only need a selection of open-ended wrenches to get it done. And unless you're working on a vintage Cushman or a Harley-Davidson topper, you're going to want your wrenches to be in metric sizes like 12, 14, or 17 millimeters. You can use fractional size wrenches like 9/16 or ½ inch, but you're going to want to make sure that your wrench fits the fastener snugly. A loose fitting wrench can damage or strip the fastener, and you can end up in worse shape than you were when you started off. I don't really recommend using an adjustable wrench for this job, especially if those mirrors have been on there a long time. Adjustable wrenches are prone to stripping and damaging fasteners. And I can't stress enough, you never want to use pliers on a job like this. As I stated before, almost all mirrors are installed the same way. The threaded end is inserted somewhere in the handlebar by rotating the entire mirror. Then, the jam nut is tightened against the mounting base to secure the mirror in a specific location. Now some mirrors have special left-handed threads on the right grip to ensure that the mirror can be knocked loose in case of an accident. Let's start with the left-hand mirror, or I guess what's left of this one. Place your properly sized wrench, in this case I'm using a 14 millimeter, on the jam nut, and we're going to turn it in a counterclockwise direction using slow and even pressure. If the jam nut won't budge, don't apply too much force and risk stripping the nut. Apply a little penetrating oil to the jam nut. In this case, I'm using Bell Ray 6-in-1, but something similar to WD-40 can work for you. When the jam nut frees, a quarter turn is all you'll need. Then you can simply unscrew the mirror assembly. Well, as I stated before, what's left of this mirror assembly. Remember what I said earlier about how some scooters have left-handed threads on the right mirror? This would mean that if you turn the mirror to the left or counterclockwise, it's actually going to tighten the mirror. And if you turn it to the right or clockwise, it's going to loosen the mirror. It's the opposite of righty-tighty, lefty-loosen. And there's no way to tell for sure if this mirror here is left or right-handed threads. So what I like to do is take my properly sized wrench, in this case 14 millimeter, put it on the jam nut, and I'm going to try it first counterclockwise, or lefty-loosen. The mirror didn't budge. Now I'm going to try it again clockwise, or to the right. Look at that, it loosened. This means that this mirror has left-handed threads. And it won't come out. Now that you've uninstalled your mirrors, you can make a decision as to what kind of mirrors you want to replace them with. If you want to shop local, most motorcycle shops carry a selection of universal fit mirrors that'll fit almost any application. You can also find a lot of mirrors online, but there are 3 things you need to consider before selecting your next mirrors. Now the first thing you need to consider is the size of the stud at the base of your mirror. Now most mirrors come in an 8 millimeter or a 10 millimeter stud size. To tell what size you have, use your 8 millimeter wrench. If the open end of your 8 millimeter wrench goes nicely over the stud, you have an 8 millimeter stud. If the open end of your 8 millimeter wrench does not fit over your stud, you probably got yourself a 10 millimeter stud. Now let's say you don't have access to an 8 millimeter wrench. You can use a Bic ballpoint pen. Now these pens have a pretty much perfect 8 millimeter size, which means the cap is an 8 millimeter hole. try inserting the stud of your mirror into your pen cap. If it doesn't fit, you probably have yourself a 10mm stud. If it fits nicely, you got yourself an 8mm stud. The second thing you need to consider is whether your right mirror is left or right-handed threads. Think about the way that you had to turn the mirror to uninstall it. If you want to check your new mirror, hold it upside down with the threads facing upwards. Rotate the jam nut counterclockwise. If the jam nut moves up the stud, you got yourself right-handed threads. If it moves down the stud, those are left-handed threads. The last thing to consider is the size and the shape of your new mirrors. Now, this could be an opportunity to increase your rear vision or even enhance the aesthetics of your scooter. But remember, a mirror that's too short might only enhance the view you have of your own forearms. Now, I decided to go with the original equipment for this genuine buddy. You can usually get original replacement mirrors from the dealership. I got these ones from scooterworks.com. Not only in hopes that they would sponsor my video series, but because they offer pretty fast shipping and they have original parts for the genuine scooters. On top of that, they have excellent swag. To install your new mirror, start by moving your jam nut as far up on the stem as it'll go. Next, thread the mirror into the mounting base. Now it should thread in nice and easily. If it binds up, back the mirror out and start again. Forcing it past this bind could damage the threads permanently. When the mirror bottoms out, or you can't insert it any further into the base, position the mirror where you want it to be on the scooter and tighten your jam nut. It's as easy as that. Well, with your new mirrors installed, you can watch that accident get further and further behind you. I hope this video helped you out. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel and check back periodically. I'm going to try and release a whole mess of videos aimed at helping people with common scooter problems. And the general philosophy of these videos is that you shouldn't be afraid. A scooter is just a bucket of bolts, and the people who work on them aren't smarter than you. Until next time, keep it shiny side up. You can usually get OEM replacement mirrors and a car goes by. Another car, please. Thank you. Well, it's my neighbor again. You probably have yourself an 8mm stud. If it fits nicely, set it backwards. I almost got that one. Until next time, keep it on two wheels. Keep it sunny side up. Keep it shiny side up. Until next time, keep it in the wind.